You may know the Van Morrison song, which said, "My mama told me there will be days like this." And he's talking about days which are filled with wonder and vigor and good energy. But we all know that not only will there be days that are wonderful and positive and good, but there will also be days like this that are bleak and filled with anguish. I think such a day for us was just this last Friday, just a week ago, when we heard the terrible news of the hostage taking of the 3 young teenagers in Israel. It was a moment which brought the Jewish people, not only the people of Israel, together in anguish, in agony, and in fear. Fear for the life of these 3 young men. There are, however, different kinds of days which we know are not only like that, but days which do give us some sense of hope. And where does one find hope, though, when one thinks of these young men, of what they are going through, and one only imagines what their families are going through? I think in our parasha we can find both are reflected. First of all, there is the scene where Moshe when he faced Korach. You can imagine when Korach approached him. Korach, who leads the first coup d'etat that is certainly in biblical history, but perhaps in recorded history as well. Korach comes and challenges Moshe to the leadership. He challenges Moshe's very character and personality. And you can imagine how Moshe must have felt that day. I wonder if he said, did Mama tell me back in Egypt that there were going to be days like this where I would feel absolutely shattered again by this people who are now undermining, challenging everything that I stand for. And believe me, this was different from every other challenge that Moshe had. For the other challenges, you could say, when the people didn't have food and they didn't have water and they complained, it was out of fear. And even the golden calf, which was the other great episode, which is a challenge of Moshe, was a challenge which was coming out of fear because the people felt leaderless. They felt hopeless. They felt Moshe had abandoned them and there was no future. But this was different. This time, when the people joined Korach, and certainly those who joined Korach, it's not motivated or brought on by fear. This is brought on by a direct challenge to the leadership of Moshe. It was a bleak day. It was also a day in which Moshe must have felt that, how will I ever bring this people together? They are so divisive. They are so filled with broigas. They are so filled with ego. How will we bring them together? And yet, after the whole episode, after the punishment, the awful punishments, there is a scene of where the rods of the different tribes and leaders are brought together, and Aaron's rod flourishes, it flowers. The rod of Aharon. And it says here, actually I will read you the verse, that Moshe spoke to the children of Israel. All the leaders gave him a staff, each one 12 staffs, and Aaron's staff was among them. And on the next day Moshe came to the tent. He had laid them all there, and on the very next day came to the tent of testimony, and behold, have a look, the staff of Aaron had blossomed, sprouted a bud, and almonds had ripened. And Moshe brought it out, people of Israel, they saw and they took back theirs. To me, that represents the budding of the almonds is about hope. And it comes very soon after the episode, and it comes in the parasha of Korach, to tell you that there is, even after an event like this, which was about disunity and the fragmentation of the people, there was an opportunity to start again and to recognize the leadership of Aaron and to let Moshe and Aaron bring the people together. And similarly, in this crisis that we are now going through as in Israel and as a Jewish people, I think what will help us and what sustains us through these kind of crises is that we come together. We're all there for our boys. We all are saying the same prayer, whether it's in Johannesburg, whether it's in London, whether it's in Melbourne, and certainly you know at the Kotel, you may have watched some of the scenes at the Kotel, of everybody singing the same song. You know, we are a very fragmented people. We are a difficult people. We're a people who argues and has so many broigas and farebels amongst us. But we do have that capacity as well to come together at moments in a sense of unity, and to sing the same tune, to sing the same song. Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, and we think about those hanutunim b'tzara u'b'shivya ha'omdim bein b'yam u'bein b'yabasha. Our thoughts are with those, as the song says, with those in captivity. We are with them. We are behind them. with our prayers, with our thoughts, that they soon and speedily be released.